So happy to have you join. Guess what? Big time storm systems this week? No, finally, we're going to calm things down a little bit. Big ridge over the west coast and just a little bit of storm energy at times going across portions of the northern plains, upper Midwest into the northeast. That's also going to be where the cold air is generally going to track with a few of these different systems as well. St. Patrick's Day week, so in green, big time ridge and way hot. We'll show you those temperatures on how warm we can get across the middle portion of the country into the west. But notice cool weather across the Canadian border up into portions of the northwest with this dip in the jet stream over the course, generally speaking, of the next couple of weeks. And that's going to be the dominant pattern there. For your Thursday, we got a little system that's going to dodge through portions of the Great Lakes and slide into the northeast, bringing minimal amounts of snow into the higher terrain, especially of New England into Vermont. We'll have this low pressure system that's not going to really bring much of anything at all. And then watch for kind of another trough with a little bit of snow rain mix as we go into your Wednesday, moving from Michigan through Ontario into New York again, but runs into warmer air. And it looks like it will mainly be a main rain system for the most part that slides on through as this cold front will show off some showers across the East Coast. And then another system across Ontario into Quebec before this one, a little clipper, drops on through. So notice it's a fairly active trend of these minor systems for a relatively limited area into North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and then into like New York through New England. That's really about it the next few days. The last month, we have made up a lot of those rainfall deficits, well above average rainfall here in the blue areas. And of course, some of that being a lot of snowfall as well. A little dry into the northeast and still very dry across portions of the central southern plains out into the southwest. But otherwise, again, kind of making up those rainfall deficits. But it's going to be pretty dry through the next week. You'll see plenty of precipitation up across portions of the Pacific Northwest. And yeah, there's that one or two systems that'll be around across areas further east, but not really much of a big deal. Here comes one maybe on Sunday that could be a little bit more beefy. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Again, same track as what we were just talking about for the most part, but depending on the timing and how organized it is, could look at some accumulating snow potential from that into areas as far south as maybe Connecticut, maybe Ohio and Pennsylvania. We'll keep an eye on that. But besides that, I mean, there's really not a lot coming at us on the weather side of things compared to where we've been with this very wild first half of March. There's the activity. Again, we mentioned that across the Pacific Northwest, plenty to still deal with a lot of rainfall and then those high elevation snows, but not widespread big time heavy snows. I mean, you're seeing a lot of spots, even in the Sierra Nevadas and much of the Rockies outside of Canada, seeing maybe an inch or 2, 3 inches in isolated spots. That would be mainly about it. There's the couple potential systems that could drop maybe up to a few inches in towards our northern areas. But once you get across I-80 and south, I mean, you're talking very minimal amounts of snowfall possibilities over the course of the next week. And I mean, even like Albany area, not looking at much in the way of snowfall. So it is going to be a wetter pattern across the northern periphery. It's going to be very dry still across the central U.S. through the southwest. And we told you about the warmth. Wow, this is early. Hundreds in portions of the desert southwest, well into the 80s all the way up to Nebraska at times, but yet very cold still. The Dakotas, Minnesota, sliding in towards Montreal, into New England. You could see that pretty cold air just kind of continuing to hang out. But there's warm surges at times, more 60s and 70s, probably coming maybe to Chicago, Columbus, Pittsburgh, briefly, then back to the cold. Yes, this cold could be far-reaching briefly into the southeast before, again, the warmth takes over, but that core of the warmth, central U.S. and mainly portions to the west as we go throughout the next week. And you could see that illustrated here pretty well as well. We're talking record-breaking temperatures from Colorado through New Mexico into portions of California, but still a little on the cool side, far north into New England.